What's cracking, yo? Welcome back to Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today. Los Angeles Clippers just took down the Phoenix Suns in Game 1 of the first round of the Western Conference playoffs, 115 to 110. All right. Statistically, and probably even not statistically, the best player for the Clippers this game was Kawhi Leonard. 38 points, 13 for 24 shooting, 3 for 5 from three-point land, throwing 5 rebounds, throwing 5 assists, and a block and a steal for good measure. And Kawhi, like Kawhi always does, hits extremely clutch. Those shots he was hitting in the fourth quarter, clutch. But that's what I'm used to seeing from Kawhi Leonard. That's what Kawhi Leonard does. Kawhi Leonard, you could just plug. You just know he's going to give you XXX every game. You can plug him in for a minimum. He's an android. He's a cyborg. He is Kawhi is a special player, man. I'm just happy to see that he's more or less back to himself after his what did he have, an ACL injury a while back and came back this season. So glad to see Kawhi Leonard back. He's one of my favorite players. I love his game. But you could also argue that Russell Westbrook was the best player of the game. You can argue Russell Westbrook was the most important player of this game and the most pivotal player of this game. Like, if I had to give away a game ball, I wouldn't give the game ball to Kawhi. I would give the game ball to Russell Westbrook tonight, man. His numbers, more so his scoring numbers, really aren't going to jump out at you. In fact, you'll say he played abysmal if you just look at that part of the box score, right? Russ had 9 points on 3 for 19 shooting, 1 for 6 from three-point land, 2 for 3 from free throws, but dropped in 11 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, only had 2 turnovers. And about those rebounds, he had 5 offensive rebounds. 5. Those are the rebounds. If you pull out offensive rebounds, they carry a lot more weight than the defense. Both rebounding is good, don't get me wrong, but the offensive rebounds are special, man. They're special. Despite Russell Westbrook struggling, now, y'all know me. If you've been following this channel, you could go look at my Russell Westbrook playlist and my ESP or my sports analyst playlist. I have defended Russ from the beginning of this channel, even before I started this channel, and putting the truth on Russell Westbrook's name because of all the slander he was getting with the Lakers. People not understanding basketball and these players and how players work and how players fit together and how you have to properly utilize a player to tap into their abilities, or you're doing these players a disservice. And Russell Westbrook was not being utilized correctly by the Los Angeles Lakers. He weren't. And I'd go fisticuffs with people for the last year and a half. People trying to tell me, Russell Westbrook sucks. He's garbage. He should retire. He's washed up. He's nothing but a bench player. I'm like, we're going to have to agree to disagree, but no disrespect. I just think that you're telling me how much you really know about basketball and understand the game. If that's what you think, I said Russell Westbrook has not been in a environment that's conducive to his situation and his playing style. Ever since he's got with the Clippers, he's been playing great. Absolutely great. And Ty Lue understands what Russell Westbrook can bring to the game and how to use Russell Westbrook. And this is my first time seeing him having a shooting performance like this with the Clippers. He's been shooting almost 50% from the field, whether you want to call it shooting, but he's been scoring at almost 50% from the field since he got with the Clippers. Like, he's been absolutely amazing. And this game, his energy, like we know Russ brings, Russ leaves it out on the court every single day and night. You will never have to go to Russell Westbrook and tell him, turn down, or I need you to get into the game. I need you to get with it. I need you to wake up. I want that guy on my team. I don't want the guy that I got to slap around every morning to wake him up. Get in the game, dude. What are you doing? Assert yourself. Try to make a difference. I don't want that guy. I want the guy that I don't got to tell to turn up, that he always going to be there giving it that effort. And Russell Westbrook's energy, his effort was felt. His leadership was there. He was setting the example verbally on the court, but also leading by example with his aggressive, tenacious defense. His hustle plays, his rebounding. Like I said, he got 5 offensive rebounds, right? And they dialed him in for 11 total. But I'm going to tell you this: if you watch that game, even though there were rebounds that he wasn't securing, but he was keeping the play alive on their end of the court by deflecting and just causing havoc to the other players around him. He impacted several possessions that the Clippers were able to keep, even though he wasn't able to secure the rebound. He was directly responsible for them keeping the possession. Absolutely. He had a lot of those. A lot of those. A bunch of block shots, man. He was, even if he got beat, he wouldn't give up on the play. He was a trailer, but he'd run after him and then swipe at from behind. Aggressive. People trying to drive on, people trying to jump shot, trying all that stuff. He got a hand in a face, hand on the ball at all times. On top of that, for a large portion of this game, Russell Westbrook was guarding 7-foot Kevin Durant. I was like, I had to look at the lineups. I was like, man, is this just his assignment, or have I just been missing the switches? This guy was guarding Kevin Durant and doing an admirable job at it. An admirable job at guarding KD. I was like, damn, he was guarding Book. He was guarding CP3. He was causing havoc on the defensive end. Exceptional. Exceptional. All the little intangibles Russ was doing. Of course, we know about his playmaking. Exceptional playmaking, man. Timely playmaking at that. Extremely timely. And he has a great connection. Like he had with what's my boy name? I always call him Aquaman. Aquaman. Adam Morrison. Steven Adams. He had a great connection with him in OKC, pick and roll type thing. So that's the other thing I would always say with the Lakers. Like, man, they need to use him to his. He's a great pick and roll point guard. You surround Russell Westbrook with shooters and a big that can dive to the basket. He's gonna play make very well for you. I mean, he's been doing that well with Big Zoo and with Plumlee, man. I love seeing the pick and rolls and the lob plays, man. He's gonna find them and he's gonna find the shooters. That's Aaron Gordon. That's all them boys. He gonna find the shooters. I can't say enough about Russell Westbrook's performance, man. I really can't. You could feel it. You could feel it. He had an impact on that game, and it had nothing to do with his scoring. A firm impact on that game. And let's talk about that fourth quarter. Oh my God. With not much time left in the game. Not much time. This guy, I don't remember the order of the plays, but this is what happened. This might not be in sequential order, but they needed these 2 big free throws. Was the game tied? Let me check the play-by-play. So the Clippers were up by 1 point with about 17 seconds on the clock. Russell puts Devin Booker in the post. Goes up for like a fade-in jump shot. D-Book fouls him. Up by 1, 17 seconds left. And then you know that Phoenix is going to get the possession after these free throws, possibly, most likely. Westbrook goes to the line where I know everybody outside of Russ and the people on his team and the Clippers fans, even maybe some of the Clippers fans, were expecting Russ to probably brick both of them, but will be happy with 1 for 2 from the free throw line, given his poor free throw percentage. Russell, ice cold water in his veins, ice cold, drains both of those free throws, nothing but water. Clippers up 3. Comes down on the other side of the floor. Devin Booker goes to make a driving layup. Russell Westbrook blocks it. Not only does he block it, he saves the ball from going out of bounds on him by deflecting it off Book. Now possession, Los Angeles Clippers. Exceptional. He made the 2, if you want to call those 3 plays or 2 plays, the 2 or 3 biggest plays down the stretch that secured that game for the Clippers so that they could still home court advantage. Salute to the boy Russell Westbrook. And to all these networks out there, I'm not going to spend long on this because I can make a video every day about these mainstream media networks that keep disrespecting this man and don't give him his props. He can play good. He has good games, and then they'll they'll still trash him. They will still trash him. Keep this man's name out your mouth if you're not going to be consistent with that energy. Keep this man's name out your mouth. Now, remember they used to just bash him for turnovers, although apparently he's the only guy in the NBA that makes turnovers these days, because in the last 2 years, or since he's been with the Lakers, he has not led the league in turnovers per game, nor has he led the league in total turnovers per game. But they act like he has been. And now that the analytics, the numbers aren't really working in their favor, they're starting to skew the criteria and skew the analytics for turnovers. Now they're not saying, because they can't say Russell leads the league in turnovers per game or anything, because the numbers don't support that now. Now what they're saying, just to bash him, now they're saying per X amount of minutes, he leads the league in turnovers. Per, what do they say now? Per 36 minutes, per 28 minutes. And I was like, this is sad, man. This is sad. This is sad. Anyway, like I said, I could go on for 2 hours talking about these clowns and how they have their agendas and their biases, but I'm not going there today. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Salute to Russell Westbrook. Glad to see you out there doing good, brother. Glad to see you're out there with a team that appreciates you, understands you as a player, and is using you effectively, because the disrespect had gone way too far for way too long, and I ain't with that shit. And I'm a Lakers fan, and I was pissed every goddamn game because the shit you have to go through on that team, man. I'm glad. I'm glad you're in a good place. I'm glad they understand you, and wish you and your team the best, Russ. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and I'll catch you on the next one. We out, baby.